What if I told you that one of the biggest lessons about kindness and even strength comes from a tiny story about a huge lion and a little mouse? Well, today we're jumping right into that classic fable, one that's been teaching us about mercy for centuries.
So let's set the scene with our two main characters. On one side, you've got the lion. I mean, he's the king of the jungle, right? The absolute picture of power and might. And on the other side, we have the mouse. Small, kind of helpless, the sort of creature you'd barely even notice. The difference between them is just staggering.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? I mean, look at him. It just seems impossible. What could a massive, powerful lion ever need from a tiny little mouse? That question right there is what makes the whole story so interesting.
All right, so let's get into our first section and see how this unlikely pair even meets. It all kicks off with a pretty normal, quiet moment in the forest.
So, just picture it. A huge lion, totally relaxed, just napping in the sun. He's completely at peace, not a care in the world, and has absolutely no idea that his day is about to be turned upside down.
And here comes our mouse. He's just doing his thing, scampering around, and in a moment of pure accident, he ends up using the king of the jungle as his own personal playground. Talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And boom, just like that, nap time is over. The lion snaps awake, and in a flash, that poor little mouse is trapped under the paw of the most feared animal around. You can just feel the tension shoot through the roof.
Okay, so now we're at the first major turning point in the story. This is literally a life or death situation for the mouse. And what happens next? Well, it's something nobody would expect.
The lion's first reaction is exactly what you'd think it would be. He's furious. He was just woken up and he's about to, take care of the problem. For the mouse, this has to feel like the absolute end of the line. But then, in this moment of total desperation, the mouse does something pretty bold. He doesn't just beg for his life, he makes a promise. He says he'll never forget it, almost hinting that one day he could actually repay the favor. Now this is the crucial part. The lion's reaction isn't anger or pity, it's amusement. He finds the idea that this tiny creature could ever help him so completely ridiculous that it actually makes him laugh, and because of that, he just lifts his paw and lets the little guy scurry away. So, you'd think that's the end of it, right? Just a funny little story about a lion and a mouse. But nope, fate has a pretty big twist coming. So, some time goes by, and one day, the lion, the powerful king, finds himself in serious trouble. He gets trapped in a hunter's net. Suddenly, the tables have completely 100% turned.
All that incredible strength he has? Totally useless. The more he fights and struggles against the ropes, the tighter the trap gets. The king of the jungle is completely helpless, and you can just imagine his roars of pure frustration echoing everywhere.
And this right here is where the story comes full circle. Remember that promise the mouse made? The one the lion thought was so hilarious? Well, it's about to become incredibly important. The mouse hears that roar, but he doesn't hear danger. He hears someone who needs help. He recognizes it. He rushes over, finds the trapped lion, and gets right to work. Those little teeth, which seemed so insignificant before, are now the only things that can save the lion as he starts gnawing through those thick ropes, one by one.
It must have taken a while, but the mouse's hard work pays off. The last rope snaps, and the great lion is free again. And he wasn't freed by his own power, but by the smallest creature he ever showed kindness to.
So, the lion's safe, the danger is over. But the real lesson here, the thing that makes this story stick with us, isn't just the rescue, it's what happens right after.
In this one moment, everything changes between them. The lion, totally humbled, actually thanks the mouse. There's no more laughing, no more amusement, just pure gratitude and respect. He finally gets that strength isn't just about size. And that's the big takeaway, isn't it? The lion's small act of kindness, something that cost him literally nothing, ended up saving his own life. It's the perfect reminder that no act of kindness, no matter how tiny it feels, is ever really wasted.
And that really just leaves us with a question to ask ourselves. We might not be dealing with lions and mice, but we get chances to be kind every single day. So what's one small thing you could do today? Because you honestly never, ever know